Surprise, it's Sloppy Joe's. Yeah, I know, it says it in the title. But they're awesome, they're delicious. They're a lot easier to make than you think they are. Even if you make them a lot, maybe you learn a couple things here that make them even better. I bet you've never seen one in a hot dog bun before. If you've got kids, they're gonna love that. So stick around, I'll show you how to make these, and maybe you learn something. Maybe not, but probably. So let's get started. What is it that we need to make Sloppy Joe's? Why, everything you have here. If you grew up in the 70s and remember the old Manwich commercials, you know, it's not a manwich, it's a meal. I'll talk louder so you can hear me. Ha! It's an old person joke. Get it? Ha! Anyways, if you do remember those commercials, it was a can of slop that you would open up, mix with your ground beef, and serve to your kids. Because in the 70s, no one liked kids. Not much has changed, but kids have gotten smarter because they have the internet now. And they know that's not food. So you can't fool them with that thing anymore. This is what was in that can, more or less. Add a little tomato sauce, a little tomato paste, and there you go. But your green peppers, or green bell pepper, this is important. Your onion, that's important. And yes, those are hot dog buns. You know why? Because kids love hot dog buns. This is kind of a kid sort of meal, you know? Kids love Sloppy Joe's. So why not make it kid-friendly? Plus, they're easy to eat with the little hands and the whole thing. The big burger, everything falls out. It's sloppy and it's a mess. And you're just asking for trouble if you've got a little tyke that is going to be eating this. Hot dog bun. Open it up. Set it in. It works. It really, really works. So, little garlic back here. I don't know if you can see I'm hiding it. This is 2 tiny little cloves of garlic. You don't always get a big clove. So it's 2 tiny cloves that I'm going to mince up on my press probably. And saute the vegetables up. And that's about it. Let's get cooking. And now for the cooking part. All right, this is a 12-inch frying pan here. It's over a medium heat. I've got about a tablespoon of oil in there heating up, and we're just going to add the onions and green peppers in here. This is half a green pepper and equivalent amount of onion. So that's roughly equal parts of onion and green pepper in here. It doesn't take a ton, exact amount. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe a cup each, something like that. Diced up. It doesn't have to be diced up super small because the chunky vegetables are kind of nice. Now you're just going to toss this around to sweat it down. You're not trying to fully caramelize the onions or anything. You're just softening and waiting for it to get a little bit translucent. It's going to release the juices and get lovely. That's a little bit of salt going in. Maybe a teaspoon of salt here. And a couple grinds of black pepper. Pretty much that's it. As far as that goes, then you're going to add your chipotle and garlic to this. Now, this is 1 big clove or 2 small cloves, as I was using. That's all diced up real small. And I have this on slightly fast forward. It's about 2-to-1 speed here because nobody has all day. So just mix this up really well. And keep cooking this down. It'll take a couple minutes to cook this down, total time. Maybe 3-4 minutes for the vegetables. Once that's good and in there, now you're going to add tomato paste and tomato sauce. There's about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Again, those tubes are fantastic because you only need a little bit. You can only use a little bit. There you go. Put the rest back in the fridge. You're not wasting anything. It's perfect. It might be more money, but at least you're not throwing stuff away. So yeah, you want to roast off the tomato paste like you would normally do with any recipe that has tomato paste. You cook it separately with the vegetables. It adds a wonderful flavor. Now I have my tomato sauce here. I made this tomato sauce myself out of some fresh tomatoes that I threw in boiling water real fast, pulled out, threw in ice water. You take the skin off and that whole thing, put it in the blender. It's way better than regular tomato sauce, but if you just want to use the canned stuff, that's fine too. That was 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce going in at this part. We're going to add more to it later once the meat cooks down. But that is enough right now to get the veggies cooked. Basically, that's what we're looking for. So we're going to cook the meat with the veggies and the tomato sauce and all that. Yes, we will be draining it. But this gets all the flavor in the meat and gets it super yummy. If you wanted to cook the meat separately, it's always technically possible. But, this is much easier. Just one pan. Always better. Just mix this up, chop it up. We want this fine. So just keep working it. As it cooks, it becomes much easier to chop up. And just cook this down until it's fully browned. No more pink left. And that's pretty much what we need to do. While the meat's cooking, it's a perfect time to toast the buns. I've got a cast iron griddle sitting back there that had happened to be out from something earlier. So I'm just using that. It's perfect. Just heat that up and cook the buns. The hot dog bun's a little bit trickier to get it to lay flat. Trying to break it because then it becomes a pain in the butt. Yeah, just cook those off. And now we're going to add the rest of our tomato sauce. This is 3 more tablespoons of sauce and like 1.5 tablespoons of paste. This will finish up the sloppy joes and make them super awesome yummy. At this point, the meat is cooked. We're just going to put the sauce in to make it really come together as its final thing. Sauce will soak up some of the flavors and make it really delicious. And pretty much that's sloppy joes. The only thing we're going to have to do from this point out is drain it. As always, ground beef will need to be drained and the fat sucked out of it. Now, I tip the pan up to the side and everything goes down to the low end. It makes it easy. And there's very little here, so I'm just going to use a paper towel. Just remember, the wet part of the towel will be really, really hot, so don't touch that. Be very careful. So, that's how you make sloppy joes, pretty much. Cook the meat off, 5 tablespoons of sauce, 2 tablespoons of paste, roughly. You can add a little bit more paste if you really wanted to. That stuff's pretty good. I went with that flavor spot on, the chipotles. I don't know if I got a defective batch or I can't taste anything anymore, but they're not very spicy. Chipotles tend to be very spicy, so be cautious about that. We toasted our buns off, and we worked our buns off. All right, so if you're making this for the little ones, let's go with this guy first. This is fun. Put a little cheese down. Cheese helps act as a binder. If the bun cracks open, it'll help kind of form a net in there. Add your beautiful, amazing sloppy joe mixed with that. A little bit more cheese, because I think no child has ever said, "This is too much cheese on it." And that is a hot dog bun sloppy joe. Take 2. Let's do this again. Again, little cheese on the bottom, little cheese on the top. Nobody got mad at that. We got our sloppy joes here. They're being sloppy. Their namesake. It's perfect. You can't go wrong with sloppy joes because they're sloppy. And you're always tempted to put more on. Always do. Stack it as high as gravity will allow. Come on. It's food for kids. Teach them science. See, gravity will... Never mind. They're not going to be listening to you. They just want their sloppy joes. These are definitely more grown up than the typical kid sloppy joes. But that is a sloppy joe. Oh, I'm going to bite into that and eat that sucker like you can't believe. Because it's delicious. And I thank you for watching. Because everybody needs more sloppy joes in their lives. And you don't want to use that canned stuff because that's not good. I mean, it's 2022, people. We've come so far. It's been, what, 50, 45 years since those days? we've learned a lot. We just learned how to make sloppy joes super easy. So there you go. If you like the video, there's that little thumb thingy down there. You could always hit that, wouldn't mind. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, it helps us a ton. We're trying to grow this channel like crazy. I'm dedicated to putting out good videos, getting better with my editing skills. I don't know how I am with the camera yet. It's still iffy, but I got a lot more to do. So if you want to see what's coming up next, best way to do that is subscribe. So appreciate it if you did. And as always, see you on the next one. Thanks.